Hey, salam alaikum. Alaikum bakwenda en Sara. Salam alaikum todo yaya, todo tata que cuenda. Arriba Munanso, Brahma con Brahma. Wherever Munanso you're from, a big salam alaikum to all of you. In Lembo con Lembo, en Saramalembo, en Zambia, Locutara, con mucho más Jiménez. Salam alaikum, cuadrilla Congo. I want to make a video. Um, Again, it was requested. And I touched this topic already in almost all the videos, but I haven't made a video directed specifically to this topic, and that is choosing your godparents. My opinion on ideas that will probably help you. And I'm not saying that I claim to know everything, and what I tell you is absolutely the truth. I'm giving you just a humble opinion. When you start this path and you want to pick a godparent, let's say you already went through the reading, and in the reading it was told and it was confirmed that you have a walk in this tradition. Now, real quick, I know that this is an Afro-Cuban tradition, and in the Afro-Cuban tradition you're gonna be told that you have to be scratched, and then you have to practice with the orisha, be receive the orisha initiation, and then later on maybe receive the Ifa initiation. That is the Afro-Cuban belief system. But I want to make this very clear. That is not necessary. Not everyone will have a path in Malongo or in Kisi Malongo, Palo, Mayombe, Briumba, Kimbisa, whatever you call it. And not everyone has a path with Orisha. And definitely not everyone has a path with Ifa. Okay? So this is a new hype, a new thing. Well, if you get scratched, then we have to send you to the you have to get initiated in Ocha. Sometimes that's a big money scam. Because trust me, there is nothing that we do in Palo that you cannot do in Ocha, and there's nothing in Ocha that you cannot do in Ocha that you can do in Palo, and nothing of those that probably you cannot do Ifa. Now I'm not an Ifa priest, although my path had led me to that, and I started there. But as soon as the Mfumbe touched me and I got possessed, all roads were close to Ifa. Do I regret it? No, because this is my passion. Since I started learning about these traditions, my passion was the Mfumbe. My passion has always been Nganga, Palo. So when that happened, I was cheering. I was like, woohoo! Yep, I got what I wanted, right? I'm not putting down the other traditions. Now, back to the topic. Once you confirm that you have a path, and it's up to that Dikanga, that in Sila Congo, that they will tell you, look, your path is just in this tradition. Like in my house, and I'm going to speak about my house. I'm not speaking for other tatas, other yayas, and their belief system. I'm speaking about my belief system and the way I work. My house is strictly Palo. We don't mix Orisha. We don't mix Ifa. I'm not grounded in Orisha. I have nothing to do with Ifa. If I have something to do with Ifa, it's just Mano Dorula. And if I have something to do with Orisha, I just received the Guerreros. And that's it. I did not wish to go further because my passion is Malongo. I stopped there. We don't force people to practice all three traditions. In other houses, they're different. I'm not here to talk about them because they have their rules and they have their way they do it. So here in my house is strictly Palo. We don't talk about, oh, you have to go get crowned, you have to go get mano de orula. If a godchild comes to me and says, Tata, what should I get crowned? I would tell him, go see an Oriate, go see an Oba, go see a Santero. Tata, do I have a walk in Ifa? Go see a Babalao, go see one of those people, because I cannot tell you. Now, if in the reading it says they only have a walk in Palo, then I'm honest and I say, Mihala, according to this, you only have a walk and Palo. But if you feel better, go talk to one of them because I'm not no one to tell you what you should do. I'm just reading the article and telling you what Infumbe says. Okay, now again, going back to the original topic. Um, my recommendation is this: meet up with the people. This is the way I do it. So you want to join a house? When is a good time for you to either talk to us on camera? I have a few questions to ask. And then I start interviewing that possible future godchild or that possible future person that we will adopt into the Munanso. And then we take it a step further. Can you come to Houston? Let's meet up. I want you to see how you feel in our house. I want you to see how we are in person. And then they would come, we go out, we invite them to eat, um, or make something in the house. We have coffee, we have tea, and then we talk because we're giving that future godchild, possible future, uh, an understanding, to get to know us, to see us in real person. Because what I am here on the camera, that's how I am in real life. So I give them the opportunity, meet my wife, meet me, ask us questions. I do not take the person straight to the Nganga because first I need to feel that person. I need to study that person. And after I feel comfortable with that person, then I say, come over. I want you to meet the Ngangas. And then I introduce him to the Nganga, take him to the room. I don't make them salute. I don't make him do anything. I explain to them the procedures, but they don't belong to our Munanso. So I just introduce him. We sit down and we ask him, how do you feel in here? And then I notice that a lot of them, when they go into the room, they all of a sudden are in la la land. They're mesmerized. It's like I talk to them, but they're really not there because they're feeling all these different energies from all the different parts that we have. So that's the way I do it. Now, you, as somebody who is looking to walk this path, I will recommend the same thing. Talk as much as possible with those person that you think that you have chosen to become your future godparents, because your spirituality is will be in their hands. The decisions that you make about your spiritual life will be in their hands. There is supposed to be a big trust between you and them. Ask about the rules of the Munan. So, what are the rules that you have here? Because I have a message, and the message was like, Tata, and I'm not gonna say any names. I went to this Munan, so there's a lot of level of disrespect where the elders make rules, but they themselves don't follow rules. In this Munan so that I joined, the godparents are bisexuals. Now I'm gonna talk about that here, real quick, about that right there. I am no one to say that a bisexual person can have godchildren or cannot. but I will explain to you the rules that I've heard from many other moon and souls. And a lot of moon and souls, the homosexuals, the bisexuals, can be initiated. And my moon and soul, unfortunately, we can't. That is the rule. A man may rule that we have to follow because it was made by our founder, who happened to be also an Abacua, Tata Reniero Perez, Quesada, from Brahma con Brahma. In other houses, they make exceptions. Why? Because Nganga in reality doesn't care, because the rule that was made by humans, right? Nganga's mission is to help those who are in need. And you're going to go to a misa and you're going to see a person that is not straight mount with an enfumbe. If that person has the capacity to mount with an enfumbe, to mount with an enfumbe that used to once be a palero, that spirit doesn't care. So who am I to judge that person? Because in Misa, nobody says anything, right? In Misa, everybody's quiet, and that person might have a very strong, let's use the word siete rayos, that got possessed with it. And they're gay as could be. No disrespect to gay people, right? I'm not putting them down, nothing. I'm just talking about Paulo and the rules. There are exceptions where a person like that can get initiated, and they could even go to receiving a spiritual pot. In some other houses, they give him a real enganga. But the rule is that they are not allowed to become godparents and they are not allowed to scratch. Now, those are man-made rules or rules established by the moon and so. Some will say, no, those are nature rules. I don't care. I'm just explaining to you the information that is out there. I'm not saying that is the truth or that's a lie, because I'm not speaking for other houses. I'm speaking for ours. And ours, no cuenta, right? And then stories about godparents sleeping with goddaughters, goddaughters sleeping with their padrinos, godsons sleeping with their madrinas. Hey, that's them. I'm not here to criticize, but that's drama. And that is something that you have to research that moon and so before you become part of that. Because whatever happens in that moon and so, drama, war, you also get affected. Whatever is happening arriba en Ganga, where your masangano is, the little pouchy that contains your fingernails, that contains your hair, that contains your manga, and contains the blade that they use during your ceremony, and they put it into a corn house and it goes a fondo canasta. You are sharing their energy with everyone who is in that pot. Okay? Now, the other question is about godparents being disrespectful to godchildren and vice versa. Godchildren being disrespectful to godparents. And in my previous video, I said there are some godparents, unfortunately, and I'm not speaking on behalf of all the godparents, that in that time they were in need of financial help. And they are just going, and grabbing whatever they can. And then when their financial stability is better, or they pay what they had to pay, they will use any excuse not to teach you, use any excuse to remove you out the moon and so. There are some parents, godparents, that are not qualified to teach. They don't have the patience. They don't have the time, but yet they still want godchildren. My advice to those godparents, or if You are one of those. My friendly advice: initiate only the ones that are not meant to walk the path. Only initiate those who just need it for protection, and you will uh you will save yourself a lot of headaches. Cause yes, having godchildrens um will give you a lot of headaches. Hey, Houston, Texas, it's raining out here right now. Having godchildren will give you a lot of headaches. Because every day is tata this, yaya this, tata that. I'm crying. I broke up with my boyfriend. It's like we are sometimes more than fathers, more than parents. We are counselors. But the godchild, you as a godchild, need to understand that our job is to teach you. It's not for us to fix every little issue that is going on in your life. If you call your godparents and you say, my boyfriend is doing this, I want to do it in Sada, I want to do a work. Here comes the godparent, starts doing the work. A week later, you forgot that you had an issue with your boyfriend. You forgot that you had problems with your boyfriend. You're all happy, lovey, lovey, I love you, I missed you. But you just asked your godparents to basically F them up. And that job is still out there. Because it's not easy to say, well, in Ganga, they changed their mind. Let me stop this. It's a little bit harder to stop something that is already in process, something that already went to make this person's life havoc. So you really need to think about before you get your godparents involved. And that's why the godparents would turn around and saying, you're very disrespectful. You're being disrespectful. Another thing why a godparent will get upset. I understand we all had questions in the beginning and we want to rush. We want to know everything. We want to understand different. Not everybody has the same mental capacity to understand and pick up things faster. Some are slower. We get all walks of life and our moon and so. Some godchildren, we're going to have to repeat it 3 times in 3 different ways so it finally clicks. Some we say it once and they learn and they understand, but they'll screw in something else. In this tradition, you have to learn how to walk before you run. A lot of things that godparents don't like is challenging. There's a difference between asking a question and understanding than to be asked a question, they give you an answer, and then you start challenging. You start acting like you're bigger than them, like you know better than them. If that's you, you do not belong in these traditions because you will not like the response that your godparents like. I mean, will tell you, yes, if you have a question, ask. And it's the godparents' um, job to give you an answer. And it depends on the question. Because if you are an engale and you are asking questions that belong in the category of Tata and Yaya, and you yourself are not ready, a lot of times they're protecting you um, because they don't want to rush you or for you to start doing things behind their back. Because there are a lot of godchildren that you will give them one little tratado and say you're not ready, but they don't care. They're like, let me try this and let me start. And they end up screwing themselves up more, hurting themselves up more. So a lot of times, godparents can be very protective. My wife is one of those. She's a big mama bear. She doesn't like her godchildren to go through a lot of havoc, a lot of problems. She tries to help them, but there are those who abuse. We have those godchildren, and this is probably in every moon and so that will abuse, that they will abuse their godparents, and they think that every little issue can be resolved with an nganga or a spiritual work. No, There are some issues, there are some problems that you have to deal with them just like any other regular human will deal with them. So, yes, a lot of godparents will use that excuse. You're being disrespectful, falta de respeto, and they'll kick you out. Because a lot of them are just waiting for that little F up because they really don't have the patience to teach you. They really don't like you, and they just took your money. And I'm not saying they're all like that. No, they're not. Because there are some godchildren that are very, very, very freaking disrespectful. And sometimes we as godparents have to bite our tongue because we say, Nganga, forgive them for they know not. And we don't want to have issues. We don't want to be a-holes, and we take it. But there's a level um where that glass that we have can only go up to until we just had enough and you're out, you're out, you're out. Yes, I'm not only defending the godparents, like I said, and I'm not only defending the godchild. If you go to a munanso and they give you a reading, pay attention because that's always a warning. And this is what happens. Well, Tata, I don't believe in that. Tata, I control my destiny. Tata, I don't think that's gonna happen. And you see where the challenge is beginning. So Ganga's gonna say, huh, you don't believe me? Let me show you. And then when you get slapped in the face, then your whole world turns upside down, and you guys don't even have the decency to say, Tata Yaya, you're right. I apologize. Because we, like I said, we do get all walks of life. We get all walks of life. We get people with different issues. I myself, I'm in the phone day and night, and not just with my godchild. I'm also answering questions that you, as a subscriber, you, as a follower, will ask. And I'm like, okay, this, that. I like doing that. I'm not saying I don't, right? But what is the proper way? The proper way is let me set up a reading with this person, and I'm gonna ask them questions, right? And that's the proper way. Um, Now, if you guys are interested in reading, here's my promo. I will put the link to where you can schedule a reading. Okay. I also will put a link where you can purchase a product. We have many products. The company is not mine. The company belongs to my wife, and she works a lot on it, energizes the products. They're high end products. Okay. Promo's done. um, you need to feel comfortable when you pick a godparent. You need to vibe with that person. There is a special connection with that person. It's almost like a father mother feeling where inside it says, I could trust this person. And even though you feel that way, your life with that person might be only for 1 year, 2 years, because they came into your life to show you something, to help you with something, to be part of you for that amount of time. And now the spirit takes you out of there because unfortunately you have to continue and you might be stuck learning the same thing, learning the same thing. It's time for you to move on and look for someone else who might give you more than what you're getting. But I understand a lot of times it happens. Oh man, my godfathers are great. My godparents are like, they're there, and you take it and you're stuck there all the time, right? Now, why would you be stuck a lot of times? Because you are in Engeo, it's been 3 years, and you don't have the financials to move on to Tata and Yaya. Therefore, they cannot teach you Tata and Yaya things. What is the point? This is my logic. What is the point of me teaching you how to use Nganga when you don't have Nganga? And this is the truth if you want to hear it. Other tatas and yayas like, why am I gonna teach them about Nganga if they don't have Nganga and they might leave this Munaso and go get Nganga from someone else? And I just spend all this time teaching them about Nganga. If you want to know the truth, that's what it is. It's simple. There's supposed to be a level of understanding between you and that godparent. If you're seeing disrespect, if you're seeing that your godparents themselves are not following their own rules, if they're making you feel like crap all the time, if they're talking to you like you are a 2 year old, if they're not respecting you, just like they have the rights to kick you out, you have the rights to walk out. Yes, at the end of the day, who will lose more? You will, because you just paid all this money and you just invested all this. But at the end of the day, if you decide to stay there, you will lose a lot of time. Now, I don't make these videos to have you guys call me and say, Tata, I want to be a part of this. No, I don't make these videos for that. I have enough godchildren. Um, I'm not trying to catfish. I'm not trying to take others. Because I'd rather have somebody who doesn't know about this and mold them to our way than somebody who comes from another munanso with bad habits. And it's hard for them to let go of those habits. And they will be like, well, in my munanso, well, that's the your munanso. And the reason you're not there is because none of the shit that they taught you work. So stop bringing the munanso here and learn the way I'm teaching you, right? And you're gonna be like, damn, that was hard. No, it's the truth. If you weren't happy over there and you weren't taught, then that's part of your history. Now let's start all over again and give that enfumbe, give that spirituality that was given to you the tool it needs to advance. Because that is what that spirit is lacking, that knowledge. It's that simple. As Houston is crazy. Houston is like it's like by polar bear because I can't say the word because then they'll flag me, right? And one day it's few minutes. It's like Florida. Few minutes it's like shiny. 5 minutes later it's cold, and then all of a sudden it starts raining. Um, and we have some crazy drivers up here. That's it, guys. Sorry, my alarm went off. Picking those godparents is very important. You need to feel comfortable. Here's another thing. If you go to a godparent's house, and I'm not putting anybody down, and they live in a mess, that means you go and there's a lot of crap in their house. It's very messy. I understand that that's the energies you are inviting to your spirituality as well. Now, I'm not saying this is a hard one because a lot of times that Mfumbe or that Nganga will say, "This is the way I want to live." That's them, right? But that's in the Nganga room. Because you can go in the Nganga room and say, "Holy crap, this is a mess. Wow, it really smells here." But for the Mfumbe, that's wow, it smells good. The smell of death, right? But they have a mess. They have blood all over the manga all over the floor. They have carcasses on top, going away, rotting away. But not just that. You enter the house and it's infested with different things. Um, they have things on the floor, crap on the floor. It's all dirty. How do you expect somebody to help you evolve financially when they themselves do not evolve financially and they're there? Okay, I'm not discriminating. Everybody has ah well, an nganga is supposed to help you as a practitioner. That nganga is supposed to give you a good living situation. Okay, um, and it's some of you will be like, yeah, but some I understand, but you as a practitioner If your things are done right, should not be in that situation. And you, as a God child, go into a place like that, understand that that's the energies that you are inviting to yourself. That's the energies that you are letting it mix with you, with your spirituality. And if those people have havoc all over the place, that's who you are going to become. A person that is not organized and a person who just has havoc, um, a person who always lives in a messy life. All right. Um, put your comments out there. Just give me a like. That's all I like. I like. So the video shows up in more. The algorithm shows the video more. That's all I ask. I don't ask for a super thank you, even though it's there. But I'm not stopping you. No, I don't ask for super thank you. If you want to donate to the channel, I'd rather you go to the store and buy something so you can get. All right. Don't forget to subscribe. I'll be making more videos more often. Now, I'm thinking about making more challenging videos. Videos to help you use common sense, right? For example, this is just an example of the videos that I want to bring. If somebody already passed away and they're 60 years that they passed away, and we come with a bottle and we say we're going to take the spirit from the grave, is that spirit really there? Or is it a lot of BS? I want you to think about the question. Has that spirit moved on? Or is that spirit still there? And if so, what is it that we are trapping? Is it a lower vibrational spirit? Is it a spirit that is still has been roaming around the earth that has decided not to go? Everybody probably has seen the movie Ghost. And in the movie Ghost, Patrick Swayze dies. But the love that he had for the woman made him stay on the earth and he didn't walk to that light. Now, I'm not saying that the Christian theology is right, but I'm using this as an example. He decided not to walk into the light and he was trying to communicate with Demi Moore. What kind of spirit is that? And do you do your research? Is the spirit that you're getting a rapist, a child pedophile, and this is a spirit that you are getting into your house? You have children. What if the spirit decides to mount you? What are you going to have in your house? See, there's are questions you have to ask your godparents. What is the name of the spirit? What did the spirit do in life? Um, was that a spirit a serial killer? Uh, was that spirit a vegetarian? Should I be giving that spirit manga? If that spirit was a vegetarian, or that spirit was a what is the word now that they use? Vegan. And here you are giving manga to an nganga that spirit was a vegetarian. So those are the videos that I want to make and talk about this and ask questions. Yes, it's gonna be like way off, but it's to help you think here on how to use common sense. That's it. By the way, Patrick Swayze became what we call an obsessive spirit. Yeah, in the movie, he portrayed that he loved her and everything, but then here comes the Ndoki spirit, which represents the spirit in the train, and you see that he even had the power to move things. It's just an example. I'm not saying the movie is real, but it's something close, very close, and an example to help you understand what I'm trying to tell to you and what I'm bringing in with the videos as we go. You have a blessed day. Y que me a locutar con mucho más. Bye bye, guys.